think the killer moved the body?
Johnny Young Bosch!
Huh? Why?
The blood stain, homie!
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
Alright, give me 1 second. I want to try to up the voice volume. The voice volume was seriously low. BGM can go a little bit lower.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
Damn, can't you be serious? Everybody's life's on the line. You can't be insulting people.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed.
I think he was the only one who could see in the dark because, if I remember correctly, he had the whatchamacallit? He had the night goggles, right? He had the night goggles. He went through his emergency stash, which was actually the night goggles. He used them, and I think he seen something strange and crawled under the table, and then he got fucked, or he got stabbed.
Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
What?
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
The reason why Byakuya dove under the table is connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... display problem. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... He was collecting stuff, right? Case.
Crap!
What? He wasn't eating, was he? That wouldn't be it. Or would it? If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... Dude, I don't lose that much health. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna be mad if he was eating. Why did he dive under the table? Why did he dive under the table? Hey, let me just slow down and actually read this shit. I don't think that. I was thinking it could be that. Whatever. I got plenty of health, so I ain't worried about it. The murder threat. During the search for Byakuya after the blackout, Kazuchi headed straight into the office. Discovered the, why would he do that? Found at the table where the body was discovered. This is... What the heck is that? I'm trying to remember what he was saying. Let's see.
I can prove it with this.
Really?
It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there. So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
Alright.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility.
So I was pretty much thinking like the Duralumin case because he was collecting dangerous items, right? I'm like, okay, if the case ain't the answer, what the hell is? Oh, it's the knife, of course. So I kind of had the right thinking, but I just kind of, I stopped thinking it once I tried to present the damn Duralumin case. I was like, what the fuck? What is it?
Did you notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
Really?
This is almost like a real trial!
In the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there would be various weak spots standing in your way. Oh, new mechanic! No matter how many weak spots there will be only one lie contradiction in the debate at a time. This means there will be false weak points. If you shoot a false weak spot with the truth bullet, not only will you fail to repeat what was said, but you'll lower your trust with everyone, and wow! If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will fail, so please be extra careful. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or mistakes. Also, if you concentrate by holding down the R button, you can progress the argument slowly. Please use it whenever you feel like the statements are moving too fast. This does consume the focus gauge, but the focus gauge recovers over time. So obviously he had the, she said it's not possible for him not to know him, but he had the goggles, right? He had the night vision goggles, so obviously that's easy.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, Mr. Ham-Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food!
He had night vision goggles.
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
He had the night vision
I doubt
goggles.
he could have seen the killer.
He had night vision goggles, though. It's true, getting under the table during the blackout would have been nearly impossible, but he had the night vision goggles. Alright, I just had to go through the entire thing.
If that's the case, during the blackout, Miss must have seen the killer, but it was super pitch.
It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark.
Gotcha.
No, that's wrong.
Counter. It said counter. Oh man.
Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
If he was using those night vision goggles we found under the table, he could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
What the?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
What you trying to say?
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
The killer had something that was glowing in the dark, so I'm pretty sure they could have seen something too. Were you surprised by Mahiro's sudden argument? Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Shut up and teach me the tutorial. I'm just kidding. Fuck you. The tutorial guy is tripping. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into a one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Showdown. In this mode, you can have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the directional buttons or by swiping the screen. Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally, and based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew toward their advantage. Man, in the bottom right hand of this is gonna take at least 2 Clash Trials to actually get used to. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You will lose counts of sharpness even if you miss, so please be careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the party's argument changes. What the fuck? This means the conversation will develop. I'm still not understanding it. I can read it all I want, but it's not gonna make sense until I hop into it. It will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood towards the other party's advantages. Plus, it's gonna be very big. Just like a regular debate. Please refute any weak spots with the triangle button. When you are using a touchscreen, please argue by swiping the Wow! I don't even know what they just said! None of that stuck in my head. If you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's remark. What's a truth blade? I'm terribly sorry. It appears there has been a delay in contacting you. I will make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long to get. Enough with the jokes, bitch! In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. About that, there won't be any other changes to your handbook menu. The only name was changed. Only the name was changed, but don't you think a change in feeling is important? You can push start during these arguments. You can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. I'm not gonna know what the fuck they do. The knife.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't advance forward if I'm just listening. What the hell? I should let Mihiro say what she wants to say and then find a point that I can argue against.
If you just use common sense. The
Okay.
killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it. If you just use common sense.
So I have to let her proceed.
The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I don't get it!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it. If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it. Damn it!
I can't just listen to what she's saying. I also need to respond. Like,
If you
this
just
doesn't make
use
any
common
sense.
The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Like, hold
If
on.
you just
Let me
use
read the damn. Slash in the direction you press, overturn, fast forward argument, open hand blade, fire truth blade, concentrate.
Common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down.
Mash the X button. Advance!
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they use night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Retreat.
Damn it!
Alright, I like how they're not getting rid of my health because this is a new mechanic I still don't understand.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Advance.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they use night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Here we go. Did I get it? Because it was in the case, right?
Damn it!
If he brought them to the... They were already in that damn case, right? So that's what I'm thinking I gotta use, right?
The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Where's your
Killer
proof that
couldn't
the killer
have.
used them?
Because if they use night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
I don't get it. Like,
Damn it!
I'm pretty sure it was in the case, right? So that's not... Am I not presenting the right evidence?
The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Yo, this mechanic is so confusing. Failed? I failed?
If you just use common sense.
If you just use common sense,
The killer obviously used
the killer obviously used the night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
You gotta use common sense.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
What the hell? Let me look at the controls. Fire Truth Blade.
Because if they use night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut
Oh,
through
okay. I
those
had to
curtains.
push. I think that's what I did, right? You got to shoot the truth bullet. Okay.
Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
All right, I get it. I get it. So like, when after you get to a specific point, they'll start showing like the orange words. That's when you shoot the damn truth bullet. God damn it. All right, so what I'm gonna do here? Take a short break, and once I come back, I'll be back with more Dangan Ronpa.